You wake up. Your eyes are open. Your brain isn't. The fog sits behind your forehead like a weight you can't lift. Your limbs feel heavier than they should. And somewhere behind your eyes, there is a dull, pressing ache that will not leave. Most people call this caffeine withdrawal. But what is actually happening inside your brain right now is far stranger. Caffeine did not give you energy. That is the first thing you need to understand. It never created a single molecule of fuel your body could use. What it did was block a signal your brain has been trying to send you every single day for years. And right now, that signal is flooding back. Inside your brain, there is a molecule called adenosine. It builds up from the moment you wake up, attaching to receptors, telling your brain you are tired. The longer you are awake, the more adenosine accumulates, and the stronger that signal becomes. Caffeine looks almost identical to adenosine at the molecular level. It slips into those same receptors without activating them. It is not giving you energy. It is muting exhaustion, like putting a piece of tape over a fire alarm that has been ringing for years. While you were drinking coffee, your brain was not sitting still. It was adapting. It noticed those adenosine receptors were constantly blocked, so it grew more of them. More receptors, more places for fatigue signals to land. Now, you have stopped. The caffeine is gone. Every single adenosine receptor you grew, and there are far more of them now than when you started, is wide open. Years of silenced fatigue signals flood in all at once. That headache, it's not a side effect. It's your brain finally being heard after being silenced for years. And that is only the first thing caffeine took from you. Because while you were feeling alert, it was quietly rewriting two other systems. Systems you cannot feel. Systems that have been running every single night without your permission. The first one lives deep inside your brain, and it has been screaming for years. You just couldn't hear it. Think of your sleep as an office building at night. During the day, the building is alive. People moving, phones ringing, doors opening. At night, the cleaning crew arrives, the floors are scrubbed, the trash is emptied, the systems that keep the building running are maintained. Your brain has the same system. It is called the glymphatic system, a network of channels that opens during deep sleep to clear out metabolic waste that builds up during the day, proteins that would otherwise accumulate, debris that needs to be removed. But caffeine did something most people never realize, even if you fell asleep fine, even if you slept a full 8 hours. The caffeine still in your system was quietly fracturing the deepest, most restorative stage of sleep. The stage where your brain cleans itself, the stage where memories are consolidated, the stage where your brain physically repairs damage from the day before. Slow-wave sleep, the deepest stage, is where recovery actually happens. Caffeine reduces the time your brain spends there, not by a little. In some people, it cuts deep sleep by up to 20%, every night, for years. This is the part people never connect. You wake up tired, you reach for coffee. The coffee helps you feel alert, but it also chips away at the deep sleep you need tonight. So you wake up tired again, and reach for coffee again. It is a loop. A loop your brain has been running since the first morning you needed caffeine to feel normal. But the fatigue is only the first system coming back online. The next one has been working overtime every single night, and you never felt a thing. In fact, you probably thought it was working fine. Inside your brain, there is a reward system that makes life feel worth living. When you accomplish something, when you eat something delicious, when you hear a song you love, your brain releases a chemical called dopamine. It is not the pleasure molecule. That is a myth. Dopamine is the motivation molecule. It is the reason you want to do things. It is what makes effort feel worth it. Caffeine does not create dopamine directly, but it changes how sensitive your brain is to it. Over time, with daily caffeine use, your brain adjusts. It downregulates, reduces, the number of dopamine receptors available. The same amount of dopamine now produces a smaller effect. Your baseline for what feels good shifts upward. Then you quit. And suddenly, your dopamine system is working with fewer receptors than it needs, and no caffeine to compensate. This is why music doesn't sound as exciting, why your favorite meal doesn't feel as satisfying, why tasks that used to feel rewarding now feel like moving through mud. This is where people push back. They say, "I was only drinking 2 cups a day. It couldn't have changed my brain that much." But your brain doesn't measure in cups. It measures in patterns. Every single day, for months or years, caffeine altered the sensitivity of your reward system. Your brain adapted to a louder signal. Now the signal is quieter, and your brain has not yet turned the volume back up. Think of it like a concert hall. Every cup of coffee turned the music a little louder. Eventually, the sound engineer, your brain, pushed the speakers further back to protect your ears. The same volume on stage reached you quieter. Then one day, the amplifier cuts. The band is still playing at full volume, but your speakers are in the wrong room. That silence you feel? It's not silence. You just can't hear the music from where you're standing. But here's the cruelest part. Even after the headaches fade and your sleep begins to recover, something else is still missing. Something you won't notice until it's gone. And this is where most people give up. Not because the pain comes back, but because nothing feels good anymore. So how do you make it through without starting over? The answer is not willpower, it's strategy. Your brain needs 3 things to recover, and each one is a lever you can pull. Lever 1, the gradual taper. Your adenosine receptors didn't multiply overnight. They won't shrink overnight either. This is why reducing caffeine slowly often works better than quitting cold. A gradual taper gives your brain time to remove those extra receptors without being flooded by years of silenced fatigue signals all at once. Staying hydrated matters here too. Caffeine withdrawal changes blood flow in the brain, and dehydration makes everything worse. Electrolytes, especially sodium, support the nerve function your body is scrambling to recalibrate. But lowering the noise is only the first lever, because the real recovery doesn't begin when you wake up. Lever 2, the sleep rebuild. Your brain rebuilds its sleep architecture one night at a time. You cannot rush this, but you can signal it. Morning sunlight tells your brain when the day begins, which teaches it when to prepare for sleep later. Waking at the same time every day strengthens that rhythm. A calm evening routine signals that the night shift is about to begin. During the first week, sleep may feel lighter or more restless. That is not failure. Your brain is readjusting after months or years of shortened deep sleep shifts. As slow-wave sleep rebounds, the glymphatic system, your brain's cleaning crew, finally works full nights again. You would think this is where things get easier. But for many people, this is exactly where they quit. Because the hardest part is not the headache. Lever 3, the dopamine bridge. This is where your brain needs a bridge while its reward system recalibrates. Not a replacement for caffeine, a temporary structure that keeps you moving while the real foundation rebuilds. Morning movement naturally increases dopamine without overwhelming the brain. Eating enough protein provides the amino acids your body uses to manufacture dopamine on its own. Brief cold exposure gives a temporary alertness boost, not necessary, but available. None of these replace caffeine. They simply remind your brain how to create motivation on its own, while your receptors slowly regain their natural sensitivity. Here is what nobody tells you about caffeine withdrawal. The headache is not a punishment. It is your adenosine system finally being heard after years of being silenced. The restless sleep is not regression. It is your brain rebuilding deep sleep architecture that caffeine quietly eroded night after night. The flat, gray feeling is not depression. It is your reward system recalibrating after years of borrowed brightness. Your brain did not betray you by adapting to a substance you gave it every single day. That is what brains are designed to do. They optimize for survival in whatever environment they find themselves in. And for years, that environment included caffeine. The discomfort you feel right now is not damage. It is a body remembering how to run on its own chemistry again. You are not weak for struggling through this. You are watching one of the most intelligent systems in the known universe quietly repair itself. And that repair? It has already begun.